Okay, so for the first question, you talk about all these time, budget, your performance specification, or you can, this one is under your project's criteria. Yeah, and then the communication between the function units. This one is extra, like what you elaborate on the what is the project failure, right? What is the project failure? And then important is customer satisfaction. What's the level of customer satisfaction? Remember, there is a graph that tell you where is a project success definition. And then how the project success, this one is how you do the bidding and all this. Important is resource management, how you manage the resources. Okay. Right. Now, question number two. Question number two is a lengthy question, but the answer is very short. Okay. Right. Now, roughly, this one is your test or final exam standard. You see a very lengthy, but actually what we expect is a very short answer. Or you just mentioned the important keyword. So as a project management evolved, it became apparently to many executives that a formal project management process might not provide many benefits significant enough to justify the expenses. Right. So this one is deal with the expenses. So it bring out the cost already. Right. In many organizations, project management was considered as overhead. Many organizations, project management was considered as overhead. In chapter 5, later we will go into calculation of overhead, right? In driving forces of rapid technologies changes, the increased complexity of the project and increased demand of the resources with specialized knowledge contribute to the needs of effective management methodology. So if you see these resources, you see this specialized knowledge, this will actually it give you a hint. You need to deal with functional manager. Okay, functional manager, they have a final say of the resources and specialized knowledge or talent. Okay, unless your project manager also hold the position of the function manager. Okay, okay. How can a project management methodology assist in managing and resolve issues related to driving forces? This is the first question. Second question, what benefit are obtained through the use of project management? Should some flexibility given to the project manager in the use of this method of project management? What other driving force might influence the decision on the way you conduct the management? So this one, how can a project management method assist in managing resolving issue related to this driving force? So this one, the first question is ask you how this one can manage, or what is the project management methodology emphasize on? So project management method, it tell you priority. You give priority to a certain things. So the word is prioritization. PRIORITIZ. Okay. Prioritization of projects. So this is a project management methodology we focus on. Okay. Then the second one, what benefit are obtained through the use of okay, this one is the same thing lah. It's the same thing. Okay, what benefit are obtained through the use? This one is because you prioritize, so you have effective utilization of resources. Okay, so the benefit is utilization of resources, and also resources, and then also effective management of changes. You deal with changes, so you're able to handle the changes. Okay. Then some flexibility to be given to project manager in the use. This one should some flexibility given to the project manager in the use of methodology? This one, yes. The answer is yes, because it gives you the effective management of changes. Right? Once you use the method project management methodology, you give prioritization, so you have the authority to influence the decision. Okay. And also, what are the driving force that might influence the decision? Okay, this one is the okay, and also driving force is other factor lah. So another benefit is improved coordination between the functional unit. You as a project manager, you deal with the functional unit. So once you give your prioritization, using methodology, project management methodology, you're able to improve coordination between the functional units. Okay, get it? Right. So for this question, what we're looking for is project management methodology. Actually, you link with the prioritization, prioritization of a project. Then once you prioritize, you able to have a clear picture of what are resources that you want, as long as you mention the resources. Then it allowed the project manager to make changes, right? Effective changes. Then also it help you in coordination with the functional unit. Okay. All right. Now number 3. Right. Again, I'm not going to upload this PDF in the Canvas. Okay. All right. So number 3, every organization encounter internal and external obstacles that may be impedance the achievement of success, or in other words, is that it might lead to failure of the projects. For each obstacle listed, explain how a properly or effective implementation of project management methodology can overcome the obstacles. So you have obstacles. So you have resources, you have cost, you have quality, you have technology changes and competition. So again, if you see the obstacles here, it is still linked to the success definition of project success, right? Resources, cost, quality. This one is a customer requirement. Technology changes. This one competition. This one is the environment, the environment needs. Okay. So project management method, factor, and approach that may be used to respond to overcome the obstacles. So for the resources, how do you solve, or how do you handle if you have a project manager and you are facing a resources shortage? What will you do? What will you do as a project manager? Outsource, okay. Outsource that one, okay. Another one. Another one. Just now question 2. What do you? Question 2 actually related to resource shortage. You have a prioritization of projects. Because you do this one, you manage your resources. Uh, small project might not be correct, because you already deal with your customer already. You already signed the contract. You cannot once you sign the contract already, you cannot change the scope. If you say you change to small, cannot. Okay. So the answer for the first one, resources shortage, is prioritization of projects. Your resource, you do some good resource planning. And then what else? There's one more keyword that you like to mention just now. Resources, cost, and what? Just now got one. Schedule or time. So you have a effective schedule development or management. You manage your schedule. So although you have a resource shortage here, you manage the time, the equipment that maybe you share, then you plan the floor plan of the factory, how how you borrow or loan workers from other department and so on. Okay, so this is the one. All right. You have a go to internship? Not yet. Okay. Right. Okay. Second one, you have obstacles of increasing costs. So what do you do? Okay. So if you have increasing cost problem, you as a project manager, what do you do? And this one already sealed already. The contract already sealed already. When you do deliver the projects, the cost increase, but you cannot change one. You cannot go back to customer A. You cannot one. Right? So what do you do? Huh? Cheaper alternative. Okay, that one under risk management. The keyword is risk management. Risk management. You do risk management. Risk. 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 Risk management. And then what else? What else? Negotiate. Do you think customer normally will change? Supplier. Okay, if you are a supplier, will you change? No one, right? You want to, no matter which side you are, you want to hold the price. You will not negotiate once the project started. Because here is increased cost. Here increased cost, you can imagine as a global issue. If you increase cost at your side, you go to supplier side also increase cost. So they won't change the price one. Of course, customer they were happy lah because they deal earlier so they have a lower they control the lower project cost Okay, so if they agree to your term, that means the profit margin string already. So you won't looks good on the customer side. Okay, so what else? You as an engineer, when let's say you want to produce some prototypes and the cost increase, what do you do? What do you do? You have let's say you are the R&D manager and you try to produce a prototype and the cost is increased. Okay. Okay, that is one. So let's say the keyword here is you change the process. You change the control process. Change the control process. Okay, control process. You still remember there is one chart that is give you the phrase and the key. There's one chart previously. Then there is a diamond shape like that. This is a key to control. This is phrase. So this phrase one finish only can go to key. Key will decide whether go to phrase number 2 and so on. Okay. So sometimes again, if you increase cost, you need to go to the decision making, whether go or no go. There are 4 types of decision. Proceed with alteration or proceed with changes. Number 3, on hold and then give more information. Number 5, the last one is to cancel. You no go means you decide not to go. It's a bad decision. It's a project failure. They consider a failed projects. Okay. All right. Number 3, poor quality of work. Poor quality of work. Let's say you're a project manager, then you want to deliver already. You go to your QC department. How come this project is not as your project's quality requirement? How do you solve this? Poor quality of work. Change the huh? Employees. You change the employees. Um, okay. Let's say you build you are the construction project manager. You already built let's say you are the uh, you already built already, the house already built. Then you go to do inspection. Right? Okay, got crack here, crack there. You cannot change worker. You change worker also nothing. Okay, what you do is that you in the early this one poor quality of work. This one, if early detection, then you can still save it. By the final phrase, then is very bad lah for the company and also for yourself also. Why? Because again, what is the position? What is the hidden meaning of the project manager? You are candidates to be promoted into management team. So if you do not able to handle the projects, so means you are no promotion. Okay, right. Poor quality of work is that you establish a quality policy, means you improve your quality department or quality policy. Then you have more review and inspection, means you have more checks. Right? You have more checks or more. The word is review and inspection, and then you plan for requirement management. Means a customer requirement, you plan for it. Okay. Plan for requirement management. Plan for requirement management. So here, how do you elaborate on a plan requirement management? So maybe you do not clear of what customer want, and then you choose the wrong. The functional manager also do not know what you want, so they just produce based on what they understand. So sometimes the communication is not there. So you as a project manager, you need to do all this requirement management. Okay. All right. Now number 4, technology changes. Technology changes will be this one. I give you the answer. So this one is fresh end review. You do review. Okay, you do review. So this one, fresh end review. Phrase PHASE, phrase NEND, phrase end review. So it means that if every stage, every phrase you go, you have a review here. Okay, phrase. So if you don't understand what is this, go back to the lecture slides. Okay. So that is one. Another one is scope management. You have a scope management. You manage the scope of the projects. Right. Then you change control. You change the control. Change the control. And configuration management. Control and configuration. Change the control and configuration management. The important is you have a review and then you'll have a scope management. Okay, that one is that. Okay. What happens if in the middle of project you have a competition? Suddenly, your competitor talk to the customers. They say we can offer better service. What do? You do trade-off analysis. Trade-off analysis. Trade-off, TRAD, trade-off analysis. Yes, yes. So when you have competition, that is also means there is a window for negotiation. Okay, so you do trade-off analysis. Then you have quality control. You increase the quality of your work. Okay. So if you are a car manufacturer, you produce a better top engine. Or fuel consumption, you push it lower. Okay. And cost management, you also do cost management, meaning you go back to the finance function manager, ask them whether we can push lower or not. Can we negotiate at the lower cost? Okay. And effective planning, effective plannings. Okay. Okay, number 4. Project management have been shown to significantly improve overall performance of the organization. There are many approaches to manage projects, but providing the project manager with a total integrative responsibility. So we, in the previous chapter revision, we also have a definition of integration, right? Means you have the interrelationship between the component and the process. Right? So responsibility will result in some very specific advantages. So describe these advantages. Okay. So this one is asking you, the project manager have a total integrative responsibility. The keyword, the key phrase is here. He asks you whether you understand the meaning of project manager have a total integrative responsibilities. It also mean the project manager have a overview, and then he actually is able to integrate all the functional manager or functional units. Faster decision making. Okay, so that is that also you can elaborate using coordination. Coordination, effective coordination across functional unit or interface can be achieved. Okay, you just need to highlight the keyword. Keyword here is coordination. The benefit here or advantages here, if you have a total integrative responsibility, means that you're able to coordinate effectively across the functional unit or functional interface. Okay. Then also, when you have a total integrative responsibility, also means you have a total accountability. Accountability. Total accountability. Okay. The textbook answer is total accountability is assumed by a single person, or you can write by elaborate this total accountability. You can say the project manager have a total accountability for the projects. Yeah. Right. Okay. Number 5. Okay, for each of the following items of life cycle phases of the project management maturity, provide a recommendation that address or resolve the issue that will allow the organization progress towards achieving the project management maturity. So this one give you the answer because this one number 5. Okay, so there are 4 life cycle. So there are 4 life cycle, 4 or 5. Your question is 4, right? 5. So you have embryotic, this baby phase. You have embryotic, executive, line management, and so on. You have the 5 phases there. So, so during the embryotic, means the early phase, you have an issue recognizing the needs. So your recommendation is what? Your recommendation is explain the benefit of repeatable process. Means when you have a repeatable process, you can use a single machine or mechanism. You just repeat like a production. Okay, you don't need to like hire a lot of guys to do the same thing. Maybe you only need to buy a machine or a robotic arm or robotic process. Just complete it. Then you identify the area for improvement in the schedule, cost, and requirement management. So this one is in the early stage, embryonic life cycle phases, and you have an issue of recognizing the needs. What you do is that you explain the benefit of repeated process. Means you talk to the stakeholders, you talk to the uh, customers, right? Because in early stage, you're still able to inform your customers about the things, right? So this one is embryonic is you have this issue, then what you do, huh? Second one, after you pass the embryonic, you go into execution, right? You go to executive management acceptance. So this one is the internal process, huh? Executive management acceptance means you have a embryonic means you have a plan, and then you have a early negotiation with the customers. Then after that, you need to pass the budget, so you bring it to the executive level. So issue is executive understanding of project management. The decision maker or the CEO or the general manager, he don't understand that. So what is your recommendation? So here you provide supporting information. You give information. Okay? You give information for the projects. Then the life cycle phases here, after you pass the executive means you give information, okay, the CEO or the top management, they approve already. Then you go to line management acceptance. Line management means functional, right? So once you get the executive approval already, okay, they approve the budget, they approve uh, the the green light to proceed with these projects or to deal with these customers. Okay, then you need to talk to functional units. Or here is line management acceptance. But you have issue of line management support. The functional manager don't think it's a good idea. So what do you do? Right? You obtain and communicate management support to functional manager. Means you communicate with the functional manager, explain the benefit of project management, and also important here is acknowledge the needs of the functional manager. Okay, so the needs of functional manager is important because they control the resources and the talent that you need. Okay. Okay, so we have all these phases. Then number 5, you go to growth phase already. You pass the functional manager or functional unit phases, you go to growth phases. So here you have one issue, development of the project management methodology means your plan have some issue. So during growth phase, what you do, you establish a PMO. What is PMO? Project Management Office. You set up a team as an office. Office here is a team, right? Okay. So you establish a team. They call it Project Management Office. Project Management Office. Then you standardize the method you use, and this one you can skip lah. Establish an enterprise-wide process. This one is you deal with the functional manager and then you establish. It's actually same with the second point, standardize. You standardize the method and process, right? And you give trainings. You give trainings, project management trainings to the team, all the involved team. Okay, the last one is maturity phase. You have an issue of developing educational program to enhance project skill. So what is your recommendation? What do you think? What do you think? So like number 4, the growth phase, you already provide training already. But when you reach to maturity phases, you still having problems of developing educational programs. So what will you do? You as a project manager, what do you do? What do you do? How you close the loop? You already developed this training already, but now you move into maturity and then there is an issue here. Yeah, the keyword is review. Review the trainings. Then what else? Review. You document it. You document it. Okay. Right. Now review is a keyword. You continuous improvement review or feedback. Okay, this is to settle the. You reach maturity. It means the training system is there, but you still not able to achieve the skill needed. So what do? You review and feedback. So and then you establish project management as a career path, means you encourage you talk to the HR, so whether you can have some credit when you want to promote, you attend the trainings, then it's part of the assessment, right? For example, you want to promote as a manager, so you talk to the HR, can we include this project management course as part of the requirement? Then they will go and do. Okay. Because if you don't have any reward in the industry, they won't do it on. All right. So provide training to all level of employees. Maybe this one is the training is not wide enough. Not every employee know about it. So what you do is you go full of to all levels for the trainings, and then you maintain management support and visibilities. Means during the trainings, you will see the CEO or the general manager, they walk in and then give support. Or during the tea time, during the support, they'll come and talk to the staff, encourage the staff, and so on. Okay, so if you are the top management, it's important you show face. You give visibilities means you during the town hall, during the assembly, or during the level meetings. You show up and then you highlight some of the points. For example, you as a CEO, you as an owner, you go there, and then you mention some example of a certain good project management, and they learn certain courses and so on that help them to secure the projects, right? Then document this one is also important, right? So this one important here. Document lesson learned. This one you once you have a good documentation, you learn about IP, right? Intelligent properties. This one can be the IP of the companies. About the lesson learned means what there should be something happen in the middle. So how do you solve it? And the issue might be very, very specific to that company. For example, I just say, for example, the Tesla, the EV vehicles, maybe in the process, there is a problem with the batteries. So, so after you reach maturity and you train the skill, but still there's some problems with the batteries or with the connection of that one at the functional level. So, and then after that, suddenly you're able to solve it. Then you document it, what have you done, and then what is the issue? So then you avoid this one issue in the future, right? So this is the things. Okay, number 6. Number 6 here is very close, very likely to come out in your assessment, right? Because it's part of the important element. So this one, you need to know what is the difference between project-driven, non-project-driven, and hybrid. It's an important chapter or section for project management. So utilization of project management, blah, 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 blah. So you need to identify which one is under project driven, which one is not project driven, which one is hybrid. Okay, the first one. When the project manager have a profit and loss responsibility. When the project manager have a profit and loss responsibility. Does this a project driven or non-project driven? Again, hybrid one is actually taking advantages of project driven and non-project driven. Okay. So the first one, if the project manager have a profit and loss responsibility, is a project driven industry. Okay. Now, primary production driven, but with many projects. Primary production driven, this one is the project driven. Sorry, this one is non-project driven, but it say with many projects. It's a hybrid. Okay. Number 3, emphasize on new product development. Emphasize on new products. This one is R&D. R&D is hybrid. Sorry, I go there. Okay. This one is hybrid. All right, C is hybrid. I jumped the sequence already. Okay, never mind. Okay, C is hybrid. Number 4, income come from projects. Project driven. This one is very direct. If the income come from project, is a project driven. E, long life cycle products. This is a non-project driven. If you have a long life cycle products, if a non-project driven. F, last brick wall or functional structure. You have a lots of functional structure. This one is a non-project. Large functional structure is a non-project driven. G, multiple career path. This one is project driven. Okay, multiple career path is a project driven. H, marketing oriented is a project. Why? Marketing is a functional unit. Marketing is a functional line. It's a functional project, so it's a project driven. I, short product life cycle. This one is hybrid. This one hybrid. J, project management is a recognized profession. This one is important. This keyword is important. Project management is recognized profession. This one is project driven. So if you're project driven, project manager, they actually recognize as profession. K, very few project. This one is non-projects. Okay, if you have very few project, is non-projects. Need for rapid development process. This one is R&D. So this one is hybrid. L is hybrid. M, profitability from production is a non-project driven. Non-project driven. Okay, so we have all. Okay. Number 7, to complete task successfully to a project manager is generally held accountable to a specific set of task activity behavior. Place a check next to each item to typically associate with the project manager role during the project life cycle. So which one is the role of project manager? Which one is not? Does a set objective? Yes. No. Yes. The life cycle. The first one. Yes. Estimate activity costs. Who do the activity estimate? Now I try to like think functional manager. Finance department is functional manager. So project manager actually don't do a lot of detailed things. You don't go and do the engineering drawing. You actually manage what? Manage time, cost, customer requirement. The rest detail one, he give it to he get input from the functional manager. Okay, so estimate activity cost is not. Okay. Then organize resources. Yes, estimate activity duration, of course, yes. Sorry, duration, estimate. Okay, this one, you see the word estimate? Estimate actually is an input word. It means input from the functional manager. Understand? The estimate means you get input from someone. So if you see estimate, normally it's not lah. Okay, estimate activity duration is the functional manager works. It's a department of the engineering or the production floor managers. They give you a date. Okay, of course you ask lah. You ask how long you need, but the import, the estimate is from the okay. Establish plan. This one is yes. Of course you plan, you project manager, you plan. Motivate personnel. This one, motivate personnel. Answer is yes. Why? Because part of the project manager is to have a good relationship. So motivate personnel is yes. Here, provide staffing. Correct or not? Provide staffing. This one, provide staffing here is the textbook answer is yes. Okay. Why? Provide staffing here is it deal with the project management. This one, provide staffing. Staffing here is more on the like what resources you need. Okay. So define how task is done. No, So issue directive. Directive is instruction, like what you should do, what is the requirement, or not. Control each task. No, The control is no. Issue directive. Remain flexible. Yes, no, repress flex. Sorry, remain flexible. Yes. Sorry, my answer it should be yes. Issue directive. Remain flexible. Answer is yes. Remain flexible means you are the one who you are integrating. You're doing the integrate. So actually, remain flexible means you have a overview of the picture. You this functional manager down, so you have a flexibility to do the shift or the changes in the as long as you achieve the customer requirement. Okay. So remain flexibility is yes, and then project control, yes. Okay. Right. Okay, number 8. Number 8 is keyword lah for project success. So few project, blah blah blah. So we ask you list 3 competing demand that generally considered when making a trade-off decision during project execution to achieve success. So what I mean by project success? What are the 3 things? Cost. Scheduling with what? Time. Cost, time, and what? Cost, time, and what? The customer side is what? Okay, the requirement or the scope of the projects. Yeah, these 3, we keep repeating these 3 since chapter 1. Okay. Scope of projects or customer requirement also can. Okay, so this question actually asks you what is the definition of project success. Even if this one come out in a test or final exam, you write the definition of project success also correct, because it's give you the 3 important words: time, cost, and customer requirement or scope of the projects. Okay. Okay, number 9 here. Okay, number 9 here. I put it as a learning question. So in our slide, we don't mention this word, critical success factor, CSF. Identify what is necessary to meet customer performance level, right? This is the critical success factor. Another form of CSF, also known as KPI. So CFF and KPI are used to measure the success and establish early in the project planning. So the following is a list of typical KPI during project planning. In the space provided, identify primary factor that are most commonly used to measure project success. What additional success factor of a KPI can be used as a measurement of success? right? So this one, do I give you the chart? No, is it a chart? I think I give you the. Okay, so this one you just copy This one, primary one is the primary KPI or CFS, critical success factor. Again, time, cost, and scope or quality requirement. Still the same, schedule or time, cost, quality requirement accepted by customers. So it's still back to the definition of the project success. Okay, so primary is the KPI, primary KPI, okay, primary CFS. Secondary one is what you do to achieve the success. So for example, secondary KPI follow up on work, minimum changes to the scope, no disturbance to the normal operation within safety, ethically, support corporate strategies, maintain corporate reputation or branding within the government regulation. So this is outside the, you can say it's outside the projects. It become a secondary. Okay, or this one secondary one is what you do to achieve the primary. Okay. Okay, we'll go to question 10. Question 10, and then we have a 10 minutes break. Okay, question 10, quite easy question. He asks you to choose quantitative and qualitative. You do know the difference? Quantitative means you can count quantity. You can count or you can quantify. You can measure. Qualitative is something that it's quite subjective and also is an opinion sometimes. Okay, so what quantitative and qualitative failure? Occasional, blah blah blah. Review each of the following items. Identify which item is considered as quantitative, qualitative, consider failure. So you need to identify which one is qualitative and quantitative failure. Okay, the first one, ineffective plannings. Ineffective plannings. Quantitative, why? Why is quantitative? Huh? Huh? Yes. What you measure in planning? Time, cost, and what the customer want. For example, your customer want you to produce a sport car, so they suspect there. The effective planning, yes, quantitative. Poor motivation, qualitative, is a feeling, is an emotion. Okay. Poor productivity. Poor productivity. Can you measure productivity or not? Can you measure or not? Okay, so you can measure one. Productivity can measure one. Like for example, Musang King Farm. How you say, oh, this year you have a very good productive. You measure how many tons of durian you can measure. Or in the factory, or in the construction, how many houses you build, how many stories of high-rise building you build. This one can measure one productivities. Or like how many pieces of equipment you develop or you manufacture. Ineffective scheduling. Ineffective scheduling. Why? Yes, time you can count on. 1 month, 2 months, 3 months. Okay. Ineffective estimating. How do you estimate? Estimate, you need what? You need calculation. And calculation, you can plot graph, you can project numbers. So it's a quantitative. So low morale, this one you know lah, it's a feeling. So it's a qualitative. So project objective changing and not defined clearly. This one give you hints already lah. The word define already like tell you it's a quantitative. For human relationship, can you measure? I'm very friend with you. How do you measure friend and not friend? Which one? This one. Okay. So the word here, project objective. Objective, can you measure or not? You can measure. So when you do your FYP later, you need to write your objective. Objective 1, objective 3. Make sure you put in quantitative statement there. If not, some lecturer will ask you on the objective. So another hints here, it tell you cannot define clearly. So define word is actually is a very specific word you can go and measure it. Okay, poor human relationship cannot. You cannot measure relationship one. Okay, lack of control processes. This one is quantitative. Process 1, process 2, process 3, you can measure one. Lack of employee involvement and commitment. The word commitment is, can you measure or not? Cannot. Cannot. So here is like you measure, you go home 9 to 5. Does it means you very committed? Or if you stay late until 10 p.m., does it means you're very committed? No. Okay. No functional manager commitment. This one also no. The qualitative. So conflicting priorities. This one also qualitative. Okay. Priorities is very subjective. Okay. I think no more. Okay. So we stop here. We have maybe 5 minutes breaks, right? But you can come back after 10 minutes, right? But we will start at 9:10. 9:10. So if you can come in class like 9:15 also can. Right? But I will start at 9:10.